If you've been watching videos on how to get views on YouTube, like most new YouTubers do, then you've probably ran across plenty of content where the person is claiming that they have some viral strategy, or they set things up and make it look like they have some answer that you've been looking for, some magic button that you can press that's going to change everything. Well, I've been making videos on YouTube for almost a decade, and I see people fall for this stuff all of the time. And what happens is it ends up creating a lot of busy work for you that doesn't actually do anything to help you grow your channel. That content just keeps you running in circles, and really it makes it harder for you to grow in a lot of cases because you're not spending your time on the right things. So I'm going to tell you how content creators actually get views on YouTube so that you can focus on doing the things that will actually move the needle for you instead of wasting your time spinning your wheels. And we're starting right now. So we're going to be talking about a handful of things here to help you get more views on your videos. But the very first one is to start thinking at scale when it comes to your video ideas. Here's what I mean. So let's say somebody has a channel about car maintenance and they're wanting to get more views from YouTube's recommendation system, which is where most of the views on YouTube comes from. In that particular case, they would have the choice of making a video about a very specific make and model of car and how to solve a problem with that specific make and model of car. The problem with this is that in order for somebody to be qualified to see that video on YouTube's homepage and say, oh, this is for me, this is something that I need right now, then in that particular case, the qualification would be that they would need to fix that problem in that moment. And two, they would also need to have that particular make and model of car. And three, they would have to be interested in doing it themselves in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong, they could search target that video and that could become a very stable source of traffic for them. But if they want to get more views faster, like most of us do, this would be a better approach. Instead of making a video about a single make and model, they could be sharing general car tips that would apply to the general public. In that particular case, it could be about how to do an oil change in general, or the best oil filters, or the best types of oil for the car. The difference is, let's say, for example, the video about the best oil for your car, the only requirement for somebody to be interested in that particular video is that they would need to have a car. In that particular case, the potential for that video is much larger, and it's much larger faster. Now, in addition to that video being more appealing on YouTube's homepage, another great thing about that particular video is that it can cause people to just respond to it directly within YouTube's recommendation system, but it's also something that people might be able to find in search. So because of that, they would be double dipping in terms of really being able to take advantage of all of the pages on YouTube to bring attention to that video. So when you start thinking at scale like that about the videos that you're publishing, and instead of just coming up with an idea and run with it, you start thinking it through and you start thinking, okay, if this were to show up on YouTube's homepage for the people that I'm trying to reach, is this something that the largest amount of people that are interested in what it is that I talk about, the largest amount of people would be interested in? If you think about that scale when you're qualifying your video ideas, then you're going to start getting more views on your videos because the content that you're making is going to be more appealing to larger groups of people. The next thing you want to do to get more views on your videos is, before you commit to an idea for a video, think of what you're going to do for the thumbnail and title first. The reason that this can help you get more views on your videos is because if you can represent that idea from the outside in a better way, then one, you can ensure it's a good video idea. Two is it will also help you make a better video. And the reason that that's important is because audience retention is a huge factor when it comes to how much your videos get shown to other people. Knowing how important audience retention is for our videos, when you make your thumbnail and your title first, it also helps ensure that you say or show or share the right things when people are first coming into your video. The reason that that's important is because your thumbnail and your title create an expectation for what the video might be, or for the value that people might get out of the video that you're publishing. So when you start thinking about that in advance, then right when your video starts, you can reinforce the ideas that you presented in your thumbnail and title. So when people come into the video, they're like, okay, yeah, I'm in the right place here and I'm going to get what I expected. Just doing that, rearranging your workflow a little bit, can create a better experience for the viewer and keep them watching for a longer period of time, which then will cause YouTube's system to end up recommending your content to more people and therefore bringing you more views. The next thing you can do to get more views on your videos is to verify the interest in the ideas for the videos that you have. There are a few different ways that you can do this. The first one, which is free, is you can go to trends.google.com. On that website, you can actually track the the interest over time of particular subjects that you might be wanting to talk about. When you land on the first page at trends.google.com, what you want to do is make sure that your country is set to the country that you're trying to target. Then put the topic of your video into the search box and hit explore. The results you're going to see here are going to give you a really good idea of how interested people are in the subject. But one of the things that you can do here is you can also put in another topic and compare it against it. This is also going to help you gauge which one is going to be better at scale, like we talked about in the first tip. Now, the initial results that you're going to see are going to be tailored towards Google web search. So what you want to do is you want to go into the filters and you want to click on the option to go to YouTube search. And that's going to let you know not just how interested people are on Google and how much people are searching for it in general, but it's also going to let you know how interested people are looking for this on YouTube. When you qualify your videos like this, you're ensuring that when you publish that video, that there's going to be a large amount of people that are interested in that topic. Now, another thing you can do if you're somebody that's wanting to really ride trends is on this same page, you can actually scroll down the page and you're going to see a breakout area. If you start digging through that area, and of course you want to make sure that the date range is set correctly, but if you start digging through that area, you can also look for topics that are breaking out around your niche, which can be extremely valuable for being the first person to make a video on that thing that a lot of people are interested in at that moment in time. At least one of the first. Early birds get the worms on YouTube. The next way that you can do it is through YouTube search, so that when somebody's looking for something, your video pops up. The reason you want to consider YouTube search while you're still trying to get better at getting attention from the recommendation system is because people are actively looking for the video that you made. So instead of having to compete with a bunch of great content creators on the homepage, you actually get to sidestep some of that, and then people look for what it is that you've made, and then you're only competing with the people that have also made videos on that topic. In order to get views on your videos from YouTube search, the videos still have to compete. So you still have to be able to get people to click on your videos at a competitive rate and get them to enjoy the content at a competitive rate, only compared to the other videos that are showing in search. But if you can do that, all you have to do is find a keyword or keyword phrase that you are going to try to get your video to show up for. In a nutshell, it's really just the topic of what it is that you're doing, or the problem that you're trying to help people solve, or the thing that you're trying to bring attention to. For example, if somebody has a video about how to make a chocolate cake, then in that particular case, if somebody types in how to make a chocolate cake, then their video could show up in YouTube search. If somebody has a video about best recipes for XYZ, or a review of this particular product, those things are great for YouTube search. But when it comes to writing your titles and your descriptions for YouTube search, first, your topic has to be about that thing that people would search for. But then you need to, according to YouTube, identify 1 to 2 main words that describe your video and feature them prominently in both your description and your title. You're probably doing that already, but if not, from here forward, try to make sure that you're adding a word or a phrase that best describes your video. And of course, you're going to level that up if you are actively thinking about what are people searching for and you're making content about those things. And a really easy way to figure out what people are searching for is to, 1, use YouTube's autocomplete feature. All you do is you go up to the search box on YouTube and you start typing in around the topic that you're making, and then YouTube is going to autocomplete and show you a list of all of the different things that people are searching for around that particular topic. If you want to level that up, once you get to the end of that particular phrase that you're writing, do a space and hit A. Do another, or hit the backspace then, and then hit B. backspace, C, and so on. And by doing that, you're going to uncover all kinds of different things that you can make videos about that people are actively searching for that can bring views to your channel while you're trying to get better at getting attention through YouTube's recommendation system. And a side bonus of going after YouTube search as a new content creator is that the only people that are going to be finding your content in YouTube search are the people that are actively looking for it, which also means those are the people that you're trying to reach anyway. And the more of those people that go in and interact with your video and have a positive experience there, the better it trains YouTube's system to recommend your other content so that when you publish those videos, the system has a better understanding of who a perfect fit for your video actually is. In addition to YouTube's autocomplete, YouTube also has the research tab inside of your Creator Studio that you can use. And you can also use TubeBuddy's Keyword Explorer to look for topics that have a high search volume but low competition so that you can increase the likelihood of your videos showing up there. I'll put links to Google Trends, TubeBuddy, and everything else I'm going to talk about in this video down in the description below. The next thing you want to do when it comes to getting more views on your videos is you want to make sure that you're thinking about your content as content chains. So the idea is to start thinking, okay, if somebody comes in on this link, right, this video, then when they move on to the next one, is that going to break the chain in terms of the things that the viewer is interested in? Or is that also going to be something that they're likely to enjoy as well? The more links you can have in a chain, or the more relevant each video is to each other in the interest of your viewers, the higher the likelihood that when somebody does find your content, that they end up binge watching your other content. And the way that YouTube works is if you have somebody come into your video and they enjoy that video, YouTube's going to also start recommending them other content on your channel the next time they log into YouTube, or maybe just a few clicks away. And because of that, if you continue to make content that's relevant to that viewer, then you're going to increase the likelihood of them responding to your content when they do see it on the homepage, or they do see it pop up for them in YouTube search. Another thing that you can do to get more views on your videos, and I'm going to explain this one out, so bear with me here for just a second, but is to make sure that you're linking to playlists instead of individual videos from your end screens and pinned comments and video descriptions. The reason that this is important is because, similar to the last thing we talked about, if somebody comes into your channel, it makes it easy for them to find more of the content on your channel that they care about. And when you are linking to a playlist of relevant content, again, it increases the likelihood of somebody binge watching. In addition to that, playlists can also show up in YouTube search if you make search-based content, which is also a huge advantage. But the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to this is when you have a playlist of content and you have one video that drives people into a playlist, and then they sit there and they watch one more video or two more videos, instead of only getting the watch time on the first video, you're actually having that trail through the other videos as well, which makes the one video, the first one that they come into, a lot more impactful and more likely to get recommended more, as long as people continue to enjoy that and they enjoy the other content however far they make it into the playlist. This concept, if you want to look into it yourself, is called watch time per impression. And how the whole thing works is when YouTube shows your video to somebody anywhere on the platform for more than a second, it's called an impression. So if they are showing your video to someone and they come in and they watch it and they enjoy that video, YouTube's going to keep showing it to people. However, if they come in and they enjoy that video and then they enjoy another video and another video, YouTube doesn't just count on that 4 minutes or however long that video was that you made. They actually can assume, or the system can calculate, that it's likely that a certain percentage of people that come into that video are also going to continue watching these other videos, so that it can kind of anticipate the watch time that it might get when it shows it to certain types of viewers. And the more people click and the longer they engage, the better you're going to do. Another thing that you can do to get more views on your channel just overall is to publish more content. Now wait, when it comes to publishing more content, this isn't necessarily for everyone, but if you're somebody that does podcasts, or you do really long videos, or you do live streams, then you can use a tool like Opus Clip that allows you to drop your YouTube live stream or podcast or long video into it, and it will make you shorter landscape, just regular videos that you can upload to your YouTube channel as well. So it just samples out bits, or the best bits, of your streams or your podcasts or your long videos, and then you can actually publish them as supplemental content. Now, the key here is that people still have to enjoy the videos, so you have to make sure that you're choosing the right clips, but this is also a great way to publish more if you choose to use it in that way. In addition to that, you can also use it to make more short form videos as well if you're publishing shorts to your channel, and then that will allow you to also help you bring more attention to the channel as a whole. And just like the other stuff, if you're interested in checking that out, links to Opus Clip will be down in the description. Another thing that you can do to bring more attention to your videos, if you're trying to just do everything that you possibly can, is to use hashtags. You want to make sure that you put them in your video description, and make sure that the hashtags that you're using are relevant to the content that you're making. The way that you look for this is, before you just grab a hashtag and use it, instead fill your video description with whatever hashtags that you think you're going to use, and then publish your video as unlisted. And when you publish it as unlisted, go in and just start right-clicking those hashtags and see what shows up. You want to make sure that the videos for the hashtags that you're using are all relevant to what it is that you're making. And the reason this is important is because YouTube is prioritizing on those pages as well as every other page on YouTube. They're prioritizing the videos and those hashtag results that are getting the best response for those results. So that means that you're going to have more people coming in from those videos. And because of that, you want to make sure that your content is in alignment with what people are seeing and clicking on and responding to for those hashtags. That particular tip isn't going to be a huge gain for you, but again, if you're trying to do everything you possibly can, that's one more edge that you can give yourself because every viewer counts. And look, if you are new to YouTube, there's all kinds of shady stuff going on with people giving advice to YouTube content creators and a bunch of other things that you should be aware of as a new content creator. Go ahead and click into this video right here. It's an entire video that I made that just lines it all out and lets you know the things that you need to make sure that you're aware of so that you can avoid some of those problems. So you can go ahead and click into that now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.